Comics Plus, what is going on? My name is Akasan. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing swell. Guys, the bad news is The Mandalorian Season 3 is finished. The good news is nothing ever stays gone for long, especially in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is taking a break right now, but as we have heard, there are future projects going on, and the Mandalverse is expanding. The Mandalverse is all. This is the way. While I was watching season 3, though, I got a call on the intergalactic planetary hotline. One of my longtime good friends that I have known for, man, plus 10 years actually was like, hey, man, I have a secret to let you know. You know that Mandalorian show you're watching? That's me. I'm him. I am a Mandalorian. I'm like, what? Like, it's crazy, but I always kind of knew, and you're going to find out about all of this in just a second. I always kind of knew that this was to be. This is the way. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you an exclusive interview here with none other than my good friend, Darth Hater 23. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? Long time no see.
It has been a minute, dude. It's been quite a while. The last time I saw you was probably 11 years ago in Los Angeles, I think.
Christmas
Possibly.
at your
Oh, that's
parents' house.
right. That's right. You came to my mom's place and everything, dude. I completely forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
That was about 8 years ago then. Or maybe, yeah, just about that time. And we were in a whole, we didn't have the Mandalorian back then. That's what's crazy.
There was no such thing as Star Wars shows back
There
then.
was no such thing as Disney Plus, actually, now that I think about it. That's what's crazy. So, for those of you that don't know, because I know you've been part of the Star Wars universe for quite some time, but never really like officially, just always more or less as a very, very good cosplayer. For those of you that don't know, please let them know what before we get into the Mandalorian stuff, what do you do basically?
So I am a costumer. I'm with a few costuming charity groups. I'm in the 501st. I'm in the Rebel Legion. I'm in Saber Guild. I'm in the R2D2 builders. Like any Star Wars group you name, I'm probably in it.
Okay. And that's how this all kind of started and things like that, right? But then down the line, as of, I guess, a few years ago, or was it about a year ago? Like, how did this all begin for you to actually become part of that? Well, actually, first and foremost, which Mandalorian were you? Like, when did you first make your first appearance on The Mandalorian? And which Mandalorian did you play? Were you credited as a name?
So I wasn't credited as a name. They just brought me in. It's funny because I'm actually filling in for another guy.
Oh,
So I took over his spot.
oh, interesting. So that so
So
yeah, how did that start? So was it just you got a call from somebody? Is somebody you can like say like how like did John Favreau just he was like, they were panicking and Dave Filoni was like, I think I know somebody that can help you out like that.
I wish, man. Uh,
Kevin
no,
Feige
I
was like,
get Darth Vader on the line.
yeah, we need our we need one man can save this show.
Who is the man?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Darth Hater, man. Yeah. So yeah, but
Um,
so you're basically it was somebody else that was like a stunt double or just another extra, and they couldn't make it.
so my agent called me one day and was like, "Hey, like would you had like a bunch of projects for me, and few of them had like weird code names. Like one was called Dust Bunny, one was called Inferno, and I'd worked on like what was it? Like firefighter shows, a few times, and I hate them. Like they have you like in the midst of fire, like smoke, like sometimes accidents happen. Like it's never the safest set to be. So I'm like, I kept skipping on it. So I chose Dust Bunny, whatever that, which ended up being AntMan 3.
Whoa.
Um, and then I later, like, I skipped over the Inferno until like the last minute. I wasn't like, working, on anything. And I'm like, I'll take Inferno. And then I got the call sheet and it was like El Segundo Studios. And I'm like, I know it shoots at El Segundo.
Yep.
Like we all know it shoots over there. So
Yep.
that's how I got the call. That's how I got into the
Wow.
show.
So Dust Bunny was the code name for Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, right? But
Hmm.
Quantum Mania, but
I
Inferno was
wasn't
the
in it.
code the oh you got cut from it.
We filmed whatever, and then I just they didn't use it. But
Okay. I mean, it is Disney. I mean, they film a lot of stuff. But the so you said Inferno was Mandalorian season 3 then.
yeah, they kept calling me and everything to be in it, and then they eventually gave it to somebody else. And then when he didn't show up, then they called me again.
That's good. That's great. So congratulations to that guy for not showing up. And
Hmm.
you got your chance right there. So so tell us, like, take us through this a little bit. What was so you already have a lot of background information or background experience on being in the background, being an extra and such. But what was your experience working on set in Elsa Gundel Studios on the Mandalorian project? Was it different from what you expected or pretty much as of the same?
No, it was totally different. Like, not only was it like you're going into a full Star Wars set, it was just okay. So here's this line of costumes. You're gonna be wearing this, this, and this, and there's like a whole like huge container next to random props that were in all Star Wars shows filming. Like, I think I got dressed next to I what did I get dressed? I got dressed next to the crazy Power Ranger speeder bikes from Book of Boba Fett.
Oh
Like they
wow.
were just sitting next to us as we're dressing.
Oh wow. Is it because are you going to
And
say
then
because it's just that's their particular organizational style or because of the fact that they just shot everything all at the same time?
they
Like
shoot everything all at the same time, and it's all just sitting there. Like there's so many. There was pieces from Kenobi left over. There was Book of Boba
wow.
Fett stuff. There was Mando stuff, and then on top of that, they were gearing up for Ahsoka.
Oh wow. And this is just straight up in the dressing room slash costume department then. Like our prop
It
department.
was on set. Like it was like we got dressed on a set. Like
That's
dirt and
wild.
everything.
That is wild, actually. That it's so weird for me to believe that that's coming out of, but at the same time, I guess with Disney and um you know, compared to like Ant-Man and the Wasp, because this is actually a big thing that's been coming up a lot with people is like, Disney Marvel versus Disney Star Wars in terms of production value, CG, VFX, all of that. When your time on Ant-Man and the Wasp versus the Mandalorian time, was there a big difference there in terms of just like you said, like was it more chaotic on Mandalorian, more organized on Ant-Man, or vice versa?
It's funny is like so I've done two Marvel projects. One was super crazy, chaotic, and then Ant-Man was just like chill, relaxed, like a
Okay,
normal set there.
okay.
Um, so I did what was that? Doctor Strange, uh,
Ah,
two.
Multiverse of
I was in
Madness.
that. Yeah, I was in that for like 2.2 seconds. But
Wait, what did you play? Like,
I was 818 universe like me, and then I was like 616 universe me. So when they wore like the crazy like black and gray and drab looking clothes, I was one of those. And then there's me like when they're fighting the octopus thing, in normal clothes.
that is awesome, though. That's actually a small little detail. You are literally part of the MCU. Now, like that's a small little
I'm an
detail.
MCU and a Star Wars character, like at the same time now.
You're
Like
working, yeah. You all you need, you just need to be in Pixar and you're done, dude. You got the
I
trifecta right
know.
there.
Yeah.
Only so few people have done that, like Samuel L. Jackson there. So you got to get that Disney trifecta soon. But the
Mhm.
point I'm saying is like that's such a crazy Easter egg that like nobody even thought about that to like look for the extras just to have that connectivity to the multiverse. It's the fact that you even have a multiverse self of you. That is amazing, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually really cool.
But that whole production was crazy. It was huge. Like it was. I can't even like they literally built like New York and then had it looking all trippy like how it was in the movie
that is wild,
on the
man.
Paramount set of all places.
Yeah, okay. But that also would somewhat make sense a bit because a lot of Disney, as you know, they're using a lot of the that we call it the Mandalorian TV, right? The LED
Yeah.
screen and things like that. Whereas Paramount, or Universal, you're gonna get a lot of that traditional sense of work there. But speaking of which, did you get a chance to interact with that particular like I don't know the name of it, but I just call it the
It's
LED screen. Yeah.
what's it called? The whole place is called it's called like the volume.
Yeah, it's something
And that
like
was
that,
the
right?
first scene. That was my first scene.
Oh my God. That must be
And
wild.
they walked me and the extras in, like, when we were fully dressed, and it was just like I'm dressed as a full Mando, and then you step into this giant dome that's like looks like the sky, which is freaky. And it is just like you couldn't really comprehend that. I couldn't
Yeah.
comprehend. And then the trippiest part was like this random PA comes up with like a tablet and like she's doodling on it, and then the moon just like moves like across the sky.
What? Whoa. She's God. she's, that
Literally.
now that's the force. Like that's wild. Okay, so I think Rick Fukuyama directed the last episode. But did he
Hmm.
direct both of those episodes that
He
you were
did
in? Okay. Okay. So
because
did you hmm?
yeah, it was one day.
So both episodes you shot with wait, you did both you did both scenes in one day,
Both
right?
scenes in one day. Yeah.
Okay. That is wild, and but I'm assuming they definitely did not shoot both episodes in one day like that. But
No,
yeah, but just
no,
your scenes.
no. Just because it's
Okay.
all shot out of order. It's just the scenes I just so happen to be in were just like,
Makes
that day.
sense. Makes sense. So were you part I guess what breakdowns even if like what breakdowns even if you were cut, what did you film for the Mandalorian? We already established so did you actually jump out of that like or simulate the whole jumping sequence out of the whatever ship that they were flying to land onto the surface?
I didn't do that, but like the CG double CG body that flies and lands is like so they scanned us like in full costume, and so they scanned me, and that's the actual scan of me.
That's so dope. So they actually did a full body scan so that they can use you for like the fight scenes and like the final scene where the whole battle is going on, right? Like the
Um,
where you're fighting the dark troopers, right? The new and improved dark troopers and that whole like fight scene in the air. There's a CG
I never
scan of
thought
it.
about that, but like, yeah, that's pretty much what they did. Like, they're
Right.
like, yeah, we're scanning you so we can use your digital double for all these scenes, and I'm like, oh, okay.
That is
I
wild.
never put two and two together that they would use it for the other ones.
Right. I would assume so if they're going that far into it. Like and so are you also credited? Do you even have like an official name for the show?
No,
Okay.
no, there's
No.
no. It's just like you're going to be Night Owl or Death Watch Mando. There was like everybody was like all those people. Everybody thinks like they're like fans or whatever. Like everybody there was an extra, like a random like they just call for. I was talking to this one girl who was in the scene. I did the main major scene. She's like, I don't even watch this show. I don't know who people are. I'm like, oh my god.
But I honestly speaking, I feel like that's kind of good. In some ways, or some ways, in some sort of situations, I wouldn't want everybody to be a huge fan. I know for the first season that they used the 501
Hmm.
stormtroopers to help out because they just literally did not have enough stormtrooper costumes for shooting that the way I think John wanted to shoot it. They couldn't repeat a bunch of different things, so they just had the 501 come in and help. And I'm assuming that the 501 probably helped out a lot with the Creed, the ones that were hanging out during in the caves and everything. I would love to know who those people are. Like, obviously, we know that John Favreau is one of them. We have the armorer, but everybody else generally is just kind of sprinkled in there. One of my fans said that it was just like a bag of Skittles of Mandalorians. Because
Yeah,
every costume is
they
just like all mixed up and colorful like
they
that.
were like salvage man. They had the salvage Mandos. They had the night owls that were us. Then they had the Mandos that came with the armor. So there was like three or four different factions of Mandos
Right,
that they all had, and plus the kids.
right, exactly.
Uh,
So yeah, I was so you did not shoot any scenes, by the lakeside or like the whole Creed Covenant, the Covenant area, right? You had no interaction with that part at all.
with the what part? Like,
So when the giant, not we're talking about when that one kid is getting baptized and
oh
taking,
no, no,
so that's
no,
a
I
whole
wasn't.
different shoot, a different area. Because yeah,
Yeah, that's
those guys
whole
I'm kind of
different
curious
people.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured yeah,
If
that's
I
a
if
whole,
I had have gotten on when they first offered me the role, I probably would have been in that.
that would have been great. That would have been great. But it's okay. It's okay, there's time. But essentially we're just going to go ahead and credit you as a pure blood. I guess a pure blood. No, wait, no. Actually no. You would actually be a covenant. You'd be part of
That'd
the
be Night Owls or Death Watch because it was Night Owl armor, but the blue it's like Death Watch, so it's either one of those, but it's blue and purple, the
okay,
whole thing.
but not part
Yeah.
of John's faction. You were more
No,
the
I'm
royalty.
Bo-Katan.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
our was it Bo-Katan's brother technically, who was like running things for a good minute there?
Oh no, he's just like her right hand. He's just a
Okay,
random like axe wolf that guy.
right. But yeah, right. Did you actually get a chance to talk to, because I know when you're on these things, especially as a PA or not a PA or as an extra or something like that, like you generally during the downtime, if you're seated next to another extra, you like talk and interact with them. But did you ever get a chance to interact with like Katie? Um
Yeah,
oh, you did actually. Okay.
the whole cast. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
You got a chance to talk, and I think you used to be a pro wrestling fan, right? So you got a chance to talk to Mercedes Sasha Banks there.
yeah. Her, what's his name? The guy that plays Paz Vizsla. I can't remember his name. Like Katie Sackhoff
Oh,
and
John Favreau,
uh,
Paz
no,
Vizsla.
it's not him. It's another guy. He just does the voice.
Is that so? Really? He's just doing the voice. Really? Okay. Oh, that's even more interesting. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Same
I
with
don't know if
Mando and everybody.
okay, so I don't know if you can say this. I don't know if you can announce this or not, but was Pedro like on set at all? This
No, it's what's his name? John. It's John Wayne's grandson. I feel bad. I forgot his name, but
really
it was him. Yeah.
doing it like, so Pedro was never really like, because they never needed him to take his mask off this time around or his helmet off
No.
this time around, so why bother being on set? That's interesting. Okay, yeah, because somebody commented one time during one of the action scenes, I think in the last episode. I just happened to, as reacting, I was just like, yeah, let's go, Pedro. And one of my fans were like, Pedro, this dude has probably not been on set for the last 3 years, bro. I
Hmm.
was like,
Yep.
I
I
was like,
mean, I
oh,
think the only time Pedro was on set was when they did like a photo shoot for like Vanity Fair or something.
right, right. So, all right. Well, I mean, it's somewhat when Bo Katan is on set, is that most of the time Katie, or
Oh, it's all her.
that's all her the whole time?
And yeah, and the one who plays the armor too, it's both of them. And then Sasha Banks, and then Mando and Paz Vizsla aren't Pedro or John Favreau.
Damn. That's partially it's a little disappointing, but at the same time, I'm like, because I'm like, damn, they made that dude so big. It obviously has to be John under the suit and everything. But at the same time, I wonder if the first season that was him under the suit, at
Yeah,
least, or so. Yeah.
it's the same guy through the
That's
whole
so
thing.
interesting.
He
That is
even he even doubles as an extra and plays like a couple other characters in the show.
Wow. Okay, interesting. Okay. Dave Filoni or John or anybody else were they on set those days?
I want to say John was there for like the last scene that we shot, but it was mostly like Rick. Like I saw Rick the whole time.
How was it working with him?
I mean, it was cool. He was more like nonchalant, like focused. He was like, "Yeah, do it like this. Actually, you guys," or he would tell the PAs to tell us to do something.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, because if I remember, he was actually pinned to do the Flash movie. Like he was one of the many directors that was on the Flash movie project until he bounced as well. So I believe he was one of the
Yeah, I
la-
think so.
yeah, I think it's somebody else doing that movie now. So interesting. All right. So overall, the Mandalorian thing itself was really cool. No, no, probably they weren't able to give you any sort of like souvenir or anything like that, right? Like,
I mean, they didn't give me anything, but like that doesn't say we nobody like has anything like after that shoot, you know?
right, right. Were you able to take any photos? Like, probably not, right? Because they don't allow like
No,
phones.
they yeah, they took our phones and everything, so it was, you know, you couldn't really have a phone or anything on set. Like the only thing they did was like obviously pay us and then feed us really, really well.
Really? What kind of food? What kind of food do you get on the Mandalore there?
Oh my God. Well, since it's Disney, Disney has like some of the best like catering. So it was like they have like Thai, like sushi, barbecue, um, I don't know, like what a fish, like whatever you wanted. And then at the end of the night, so George Lucas's son was there, Jet Lucas, and I guess he got us KFC and Popeyes. So we had buckets of chicken. We're in Mando armor, just eating like buckets of chicken.
What the hell? Okay. How was so here's an example of my helmet, but I cut out the back basically because of the hair and everything. But this is essentially the way mine is all set up. But for yours on set with your helmet and your outfit, is it pretty much polyfoam? Is it Ava? Is it the Ava foam? Like what was the costume like wearing it? And also was the helmet, breathable, etc.
Well, the funny thing is, it's like, being as like, doing the whole costume thing, like you get to know people and everything, and you know who makes stuff. And it was, I mean, he's announced it on Instagram, but it was made by one of my friends. His name is Marcus. He has like a costume prop, shop with like fiberglass helmets. So it was like all fiberglass. So it was like his fiberglass. Like I know his work, so it was very like, oh, I know who made this.
That's wild. So you could see through everything and like
Yeah, it was like a legit like you know helmet that you would buy from him, but just there on set.
okay. But it wasn't so dark to like all right,
It's just
guess
like you're wearing sunglasses, you
okay.
know.
Wow. Wow, because yeah, this thing is a pain in the ass. To like, I could not. The biggest problem I have with that particular helmet is, and I know you have the same issue as well. Probably is when you get into a humid situation, when you get into an indoor situation, it just starts fogging up and you can't
Yeah.
see anymore. Oh my god, every freaking time. So I have no idea when I'm shooting especially indoors. I'm shooting blind. I have to put my trust into the director and the photographer, and they have to give me directions in terms of where I should be nodding, where my focus should be. Is it similar to that on set, or can you just see clearly enough that you're okay?
I mean, no. I mean, it's similar, but and then they made us wear COVID mask, like COVID face mask
Oh,
underneath so it wasn't
wow.
extra foggy. But when you do this so long, like you just get used to like seeing like outside. It's so normal for like I have on my the reason I get these jobs is because they're like, are you okay like in cumbersome costumes where you can't see that well? And I'm just like, yeah, we do we do this all the time. So um it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as like I felt like some other costumes could be. But I think just the fact that I was wearing a COVID mask just made it worse.
I think that must have been it.
Yeah,
That must have been you must have had to just get into your mental Anakin Skywalker mind, and just really feel like use that pain, that discomfort into your performance, right? Like that.
yeah. As I'm trying not to freak out because of all the stuff that I'm seeing around me.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. Let me see. I'm wondering if I've scratched every. Oh, what did in general? What did you think about the Mandalorian season 3? Outside of your own performance and everything, how did you feel about? Because I know first and foremost you're a fan of it all.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. Was it as bad as was it as good as like season two? Like no, but it still was good. Like it's just different. Like I get it. It's like I don't know. Like it wasn't good. It wasn't bad. I'll say. It was
Interesting.
acceptable. Like
Okay.
I liked it for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the name of the show is The Mandalorian, and people tore me apart 2 years ago when I said season 2 was cool and it was exciting, but the reason it was super exciting, the only thing people are talking about is things that have nothing to do with the Mandalorian. Luke Skywalker, well, for me, Ahsoka, all this other stuff, and it was really pushed a lot hard by cameos when I'm like, well, can we make this story about the Mandalorian again and like make it focused on him and even in some more points Grogu as well, or Din Grogu now. So
And Grogu.
right,
That
Din.
oh my god.
But I mean, oh, like, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to like just have so much in there. Oh, did you get I guess you did not have a chance to meet I can't even pronounce his name. Garciano, the Gus from
Oh, John Carlo. John Carlo. Esposito. You talking about John Carlo?
the no the or what are we calling him in the actual show? The leader of
Gideon?
yeah, Gideon, Moff Gideon.
Oh no, he
Yeah,
wasn't. He wasn't there
yeah, completely
in
different.
that
Yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What did you think of his costume, by the way?
Yeah, I loved it. It's like you take Darth Vader, you take a random Mandalorian and Darth Maul, and you like mush them together, and it's you got Darth Maul Gideon.
Yo, I was so envious of that voice changer, like or that voice modulator. I'm sure it's a Lucas secret or whatever, but I'm gonna go back online and start looking around for those voice modulators because about 5 years ago they used to have one that was perfectly on par for being like a stormtrooper or getting somewhat of a Kylo Ren, or more of a Darth Vader, without the distortion type of deal. But then somebody took it and tweaked it enough that you could get like that distorted Kylo Ren sound, and it was perfect, but it was really expensive. So
Oh yeah, they're not cheap.
yeah, yeah. No, I want to look. I honestly want to look around again because I know at the cosplay conventions you see so many stormtroopers have the switch going now, where they
Hmm.
can get that voice in. I really want that for my own because I'm just using a pocket speaker, and my voice is deep enough for me to like imitate the whole Kylo Ren thing, and then I put tinfoil literally on the mic to get the distortion.
I
It's
never thought about it. That's a good cheat code.
that's all you got to do. You put tin foil on top of the microphone, then layer it on top of your helmet where you're talking, and all the vibration will give enough of that kind of distortion, enough for Kylo Ren. But if you have a deep voice and you kind of do your Adam Driver impression, it'll come out distorted enough to sound like Kylo Ren. Show me, grandfather. Show me the way. So, you know,